All right, we are live for Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Network. If you haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button. I am Bobby Melendez, the host. My co-host on Fins Talk today, as always, is Fish Tank Hank. Hank, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm sorry I have all of you at this weird angle today, but um, as you can hear, everything in the house is gone. So I have 2 days and I'm out of here. So this will be my last broadcast from Oregon today.
Until you move down to Florida and officially get to watch your Dolphins every week, every weekend.
You
Very
got that
cool.
right.
Evan is in the house. Thank you all for tuning in. Evan, he says, are we partnering up soon? You'd better believe it. And he's talking about a potential show that we're discussing, another Dolphin-centered show on the Fins Talk Network. We have a couple right now. Of course, we got Fins Talk today. We got Overtime. We just started a new one, Bottoms Up, Fins Up, with Mike the Hebrew Hammer Brown and his dad, Lewis, which was great first episode. That was on Thursday night, 8 p.m. And then Evan and Hank might be getting a show together for some bandwagon fans. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll
Wait a
discuss that.
minute. Wait a minute. As
It's
we
called,
put a flip on this and give us the more positive side of the Miami Dolphins, Evan and I will.
there you go. There you go. They just drink that Kool-Aid. I'm just playing. All right. So if you guys haven't already, of course, hit that like and subscribe button. But we got a lot to talk about, even though it looked like we didn't here. But training camp is open. It's been a few days. Today it's open to the public. The people are sending in videos on Twitter. Tua just threw a 68-yard touchdown to Tyreek, and that was one of my key points
Oh!
today. Was that Tua and Tyreek are building that chemistry early on, and obviously that would have been obvious if you've been following the Dolphins, because Tyreek has been very vocal for his support with Tua, even before really playing a snap with him. So you knew that these two were building something, Hank, and it's showing as of right now. What are you thinking about this chemistry that they're building between Tyreek and Tua early on?
Well, that just goes to show the man can throw the ball to somebody down the field. That's all hogwash. So that's why I can't wait to see what they do this year. No, he might not be able to throw the ball 70 yards, but who cares? I don't care. He
60
doesn't need
yards,
to.
over 60 yards is pretty good, though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty good. If he could get that live in a game, we'll all be happy. What's
How
up,
much
Mike?
of that was in the air, though?
That's a good point. That's a good point. We'll have to look at that tape. Evan has been down in Florida for 9 days now, and Mike is saying the vibes are fire. He's keeping up with it on Twitter. But yeah, no, it's been great. Even defense. I know a lot of people. People that could be on the positive side and the negative side of it. They really zone in too much on training camp, in my opinion. Yes, it's great to see big plays, and it's great. But I know a lot of people overreact to the bad plays. Tua throws an interception here, or got a ball batted down there. Was it Noah Imbenogany, who we're rooting for, Hank? You and I have been vocal. You especially have big hopes for Imbenogany this year. But he came up with a batted ball. Of course, people turn that into a wise to batting balls down. But to me, that's pretty good. I'm excited to see what Noah Ibenagany can do. I'm excited that Xavier Howard is still Xavier Howard. Tell me what you're thinking about when we come up with how the defense has been playing in training camp so far.
Wow. As far as training camp goes, I'm like you. I don't hold that much into what goes on in training camp. But it does give you an opportunity to see which players that were hurt, how players get together, the chemistry. As far as for me goes on the defense, I'm watching those linebackers, of course. I think we all are. And, I expect good things out of Igbo this year. I expect big things. I think with the people that they brought in to help teach him, that he's going to do just fine.
I think so. I again, Sam Madison, Pat Surtain, that's great. That's not just, I don't know about coaching, but just to have the veteran factor in there. guys who've been there, who've done it at a high level, to tell you what you could be doing wrong or how you could be doing better. I think that's going to be huge for the young man, and it's up to him this season to prove that he wasn't a bust, to get that bust label off of him, and to show it was coaching. Mike, the Hebrew Hammer Brown, who's the host of the Bottoms Up, Fins Up podcast show here on the Fins Talk Network, he's in the comments here, and he's saying, poor Noah, dude is getting roasted like a schmore in the middle of the woods today. Well, that's not good news for Noah, but but again, let's just hold off on training camp. Let's talk about this. As we talk about training camp, Raheem Mostert, the Dolphins signed him from the San Francisco 49ers. One of the fastest players in the NFL, but he was hurt. And there was question marks. Will he start the season? What would he be a part of the offense? What's up, Hammer Time? But he, about a week ago, came out and said that he is good to go. He is healthy. He's been cleared. He's ready to roll. And in training camp, one of the players, I'm trying to remember exactly which one it was one of the running backs, but what it was saying was that Raheem has been such a huge part of the running back room, trying to, teaching players where they should be, the running backs, how this is supposed to be. He's such a huge part on the sideline. But how big will he be, in your opinion, Hank? I think we both have Chase Edmonds as the starter, I believe. But how big will Raheem be to this Miami Dolphins offense?
Oh, that speed is unbelievable. You put your three wides, your tight end, you'll have your tight end. So that's four receivers, and then you have a back coming out of the backfield. And it's Raheem. Raheem, Waddle, Wilson Jr., Gesicki, and Hill. I think I named the five of them, right? Try stopping that. And three of those are like in the top 10 fastest people in the NFL. Three of those five. I don't know. Go ahead, try to stop it. I just can't wait to see it. I'm like a little kid in a candy shop right now. I haven't seen Miami really have this much balance and upside in many, many years now. It's been a long time since I've seen anything really blow up like this is starting to. And if it goes between this and next season, I expect big, big things for the Miami Dolphins.
Absolutely. There's so much to be excited about, obviously, not just because of the potential of this season, but if the season is what majority of the fans believe it's going to be, that Dolphins are going to be playoffs, Tua is going to make that next step, take that next step. Tyreek will be such a huge, you think of Mike McDaniel and what he could do. And there's a lot of positives to look at. And of course, you could always look at what could happen. But if you're really looking at the potential of this team, there's a lot to be excited about. And then you add in, like you said, even next season, you got 2 first-round picks. If Tua erases all question marks and the offense blows up, with one of those 2 first-round picks, you could draft a top linebacker and you could draft a top running back. And then, you're almost golden with the team. So there's so much to be excited about next year, but especially this season. What's up, Cap for life? Now,
What's up, Cap?
Raheem is going to be such a huge boost for Miami. You think of Sonny Michel, you think of goal line back. He's, I expect him to get a lot of the reps, some of the reps. I think Chase Edmonds will be the starter, but I think Raheem is going to be a huge part of this offense just because of the familiarity he has with it and with McDaniel and the speed. If you have Tyreek, Jalen, and Raheem at the field at the same time, Tua is going to cook. I don't care doesn't matter what you think of Tua. He's going to cook because any quarterback back there with those type of weapons could show out on any given Sunday. But especially someone like Tua, who has shown out with big time weapons at Alabama, and we're going to see how he does this season. All right, so again, you guys are watching the Fins Talk. You're watching Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Network. Hit that like and subscribe button. Again, a lot of great Miami Dolphins content. NFL content. We got, of course, Finn's Talk today with me and Fish Tank Hank. You got Overtime. You got now Bottoms Up, Fins Up with Mike, the Hebrew Hammer, and his dad, Lewis, which was, I mean, again, I can't keep praising that show. It was awesome. The energy there, Hank, you have to watch it, was amazing. You're going to love those guys, I'm telling you. And, you know, the ideas that they have and the plans they got to do, or that they're planning to do this season, it's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we got Miami Heat. We talk about as well, and the network is growing. We got a lot of things we're going to start doing. Evan and Hank, I got something cooking up with them. I'm excited about pushing that out eventually. Once Evan is back and his home there, I'm sure we'll work something out. Even Bobby could win with this offense. I could win with any offense. I don't care, man. I'm shit.
That's just because you're wearing number 54.
Damn right. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Somebody talked about that again. It pisses me off every time somebody brings it up. There's no reason why that dude can't be should not be in the Hall of Fame. That's a crime.
Well, it's gonna happen
eventually, but even when happening late, is still a crime in my opinion. But that's just me. I'm sure it's not though. All right, so Hank, let's go on and talk about Tyreek and Tua, especially Tyreek, man. We've discussed this before, but he's coming again. Tyreek, ever since he's been traded to the Miami Dolphins, he has been leading the Tua hype train when it comes to the players, the media, you know, not the fans. There's other people hyping that up, but he's leading that train right now. I mean, he was on First Take, and, I mean, they asked him about, you know, the Jets and the Dolphins, and he said, man, and I'm paraphrasing right now because I don't have that quote in front of me, but, you know, Zach Wilson, you know, is a dog or whatever, but Tua is that guy. And went as far to say is that Tua is the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. That's what Tyreek has said. Now, Tyreek obviously has played one of the best quarterbacks in football, maybe one of the best quarterbacks in history of football, and he's saying this. Now, people can argue that comment all day. What they can't argue is Tyreek's belief or his hype for Tua. What do you think about what Tyreek said, and how do you feel about him leading that hype train for Tua going into this coming season?
I think he has every reason to start a hype train, and he is complimenting 1-5 at the same time. Every time he talks about 1-5, Mahomes, every time he brings him up, he's always complimenting him too. And he still says that he's still probably going to be the MVP of the NFL. He even said that during his live interview on training camp. So some things, you know, aren't always as they seem, but this isn't a smokescreen coming from Tyreek Hill. This isn't a smokescreen.
Are you talking in terms of belief? His belief in Tua is not a smokescreen?
No, his belief in Tua is no smokescreen at all. No smokescreen at all. How do you figure? I mean, I wouldn't go out and say he's the most accurate quarterback in the NFL, and he's, you know, I wouldn't go out saying that myself, but is he accurate quarterback? Yes, he is. Has Tyreek Hill seen what he can and can't do? Yes, he has. So has he really been in a game with him yet, though? No, he hasn't. So, I mean, hype it up, yeah, and talk about your quarterback. But there's also a point of humility, too. You need to be humble. And until Miami puts together a winning season that puts them in the playoffs and they win a playoff game, eat some humble pie just a little bit. You know, he said that him and Waddle were also
the fastest.
The fastest duo ever in the NFL. I don't know about that, you know.
Okay. Go ahead, finish.
So, you know, it could go either way, Bobby. But I think the team's in a great position, and I also think Tua is in an awesome spot.
So what I hear basically, and I agree with you, you like it. You like that he's pushing his quarterback, but you're also saying take a step back. Let's not overdo it because that humble pie, like fastest duo and most accurate quarterback. Let's wait till the season plays out. Now,
Yeah.
I get you, and I agree with you on that. Well, I will say this though, is that I think Tyreek may see it like, yes, we do think that Tua could be one of the most accurate quarterbacks in football. Not the most accurate, that's debatable, but one of the most. That's not in
Yes.
question. His football mind is not in question. What is questioned for most people, and especially if you believe the floor stuff and everything else, is confidence. Confidence is a big thing. People say a lot of people say the reason why Tua struggles, the reason why he hasn't been what people think is because of the confidence and what Flores has put him through, supposedly, what other things have come in, what a lot of the fans have put him through. Maybe Tyreek is saying, all right, we know he's accurate, we know he can play football, but I think what's missing is confidence. So let me boost him up here, because if Tua has the confidence, he has a coach who believes in him. He has his number one of the best wide receiver, maybe the best next to Devontae Adams, wide receiver in football who believes in him, who compares him to Pat Mahomes to a certain extent. Then he goes, now I have the confidence. I know I get the ball to my guy. I could probably throw it 60 yards in a perfect situation if I have the time, that he could take that next step. Because if he does have confidence, accuracy, and everything else, and he still doesn't take that next step, then we have our answer about the quarterback. But I agree with you. Take a step back, because that does put a bullseye, not just on you, but on Tua more than it already needs to be. But I think it's good for Tua as well, because it gives him that extra boost, the confidence knowing that the number 1 or 2 wide receiver in football, arguably, because I know some people say Cooper Kupp, like my brother, believes in you. That's pretty huge. Now, let me make sure. What else was there? Either way, it's great. It's great for the Dolphins, and especially Tyreek to be hyping up Tua right now.
I think it's about time that you actually have a player that's being vocal enough to represent Tua also, whereas he hasn't had that support for the past 2 years, really, like he gets from Tyreek Hill. So, yeah. I mean, he should have been getting all this support before. And I'm glad Tyreek's finally stepping up and saying something for this young man.
Well, Tyreek is definitely hyping it up. He's hyping up the fans right now. He's hyping up Tua. He's given Tua another level of confidence. And again, that shouldn't be key. Now, my point that I did want to bring up, we talk about time for Tua. You always bring up about last year's offensive line, 2.7 seconds or whatever it was. Tua needs a little bit more time.
Ranked 32nd. Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better? They were ranked third. The offensive line was ranked 32nd.
That's right. Not Tua, the offensive line. So a lot of people were saying that the offensive line, that they needed to add to this offensive line. They needed to, sign players, draft players, whatever. My famous thing, or my favorite thing to say with it, it's not about investment, it's about development. That's why I think the best acquisition this offseason for the Dolphins was Mike McDaniel, because of the coaching staff he has put together on the offensive side of the ball. Frank Smith, Applebaum, of course, Wes Welker on the wide receivers, but I'm trying to think, Bevel, etc. But offensive line specifically. Now, we have an idea now basically of how the offensive line is going to look. Based off comments from Austin Jackson, who I heard has lost weight, is in great shape. Eichenberg was wearing the orange jersey, whatever that means, whether it means player of the day or they're just trying to hype him up for confidence reasons, I don't know. But he was wearing the orange jersey, so that must be good. And he looks like he's in great shape. But based off comments from Austin Jackson and Eichenberg says he's playing left guard. He's been getting advice from Connor Williams. He's been getting advice from Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson has stated that he switched to right tackle. So right now, based off those comments, Hank, the offensive line is Terron Armstead at left tackle, Eichenberg at left guard, Connor Williams at center, Robert Hunt at right guard, right tackle, Austin Jackson. So Eichenberg, Jackson, and Connor Williams all are on positions that they haven't played real in their career. Connor Williams a little bit in Dallas last season, preseason camp, and he struggled, but the Dolphins believe he could be good here. Dieter also was in a walking boot. You said I don't want to forget that, so that's a little bit of a concern. People say J.C. Treader. I think the Dolphins are set on Connor Williams at being their starting center, so I wouldn't count on J.C. Treader. I would count on someone else, maybe a lower tier player that come in as that depth spot. But throwing that out on the side, Hank, starting offensive line as it is right now, based off what we're hearing, what are you thinking about that? How do you feel?
Wow. It's not the players I have a lot of confidence in yet. And that's just because I think that they lacked the coaching that they needed the first 2 years. And I think the scheme, the way that McD's going to run the scheme of things is also going to change how those 5 guys up front, do their thing. I like Connor Williams at center. I like Eichenberg at left guard. Terrence Armstead, obviously, that's an easy one, left tackle. But Jackson at right tackle and Hunt at right guard, I like Hunt. But the only real big question mark is Austin Jackson once again, which is Tua's blind spot.
It is.
So how's this going to work out? I don't know. I really don't know. But I have a lot of faith in the coaching staff. These men had the abilities to become NFL stars. They haven't shown anything, but the offense as a whole hasn't shown anything for 2 years. Now you've added everything and add in the running backs, the wide receivers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, people on the line. You've now created a situation where people aren't going to be able to crowd the box and push right past the offensive line anymore. That's not going to be happening as much as it was because of the schemes and everything else that I talked about. So I like the people they have in the positions they have them in as far as the offensive line goes.
I think you're right, though. I think the question mark is Austin Jackson. Though I hear he's in great shape, he's lost weight. He does have Terran Armstead as a mentor. But I'm going to tell you, whether it was Austin Jackson or Eichenberg, I think the one who would have the one who was at left guard was going to benefit the most, because they have a veteran left guard who's done pretty well, and Connor Williams at center, and they have Terran Armstead right there to support them. So I'm going to have to say, if you're going to tell me which one may improve the most, even though I think Jackson has a lot of potential this season, I think Eichenberg is gonna surprise some people this year at left guard, especially with Terran Armstead to his left and then Connor Williams to his right at center, to help show him the right way to do things and to be in his ear to support him. So
well, not only that, Bobby,
that.
What a big part that people miss is, not only is Eichenberg going to have that, but he's going to have quality players on either side of him where he can do his own job and not have to compensate for the guy next to him not doing his.
And I will say this, though, too. Even if Eichenberg takes a step up with those 2 guys next to him, and Robert Hunt continues to be what he has been, a very good right guard, it won't mean a damn thing if right tackle is still a problem, if Austin Jackson doesn't take that step and Tua's getting smashed on the right side, not to be able to have to make plays. So hopefully the coaching staff, as we both believe, will make a major impact this season with the players, and the veteran leadership on the offensive line can help those young guys. It's something to watch for, especially. But that so far is your reported starting offensive line at this time. Taron Armstead, Eichenberg at guard, center Connor Williams, Hunt at right, and then right tackle Austin Jackson. So
I
we'll
like
keep
it.
an eye on that. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as preseason begins. Now, we're at the 25-minute mark, which is pretty good. So let's get into some Dolphins trivia. If you guys haven't yet, you're watching Fins Talk today, hit that like and subscribe button on the Fins Talk Network. Hammer Time, Cat for Life, Evan, Mike Brown, Hank, of course, and everyone else. If you're tuning in, put your answers below. This is going to be a little different, a little fun. We love doing this. We started this. Hank dreads it until we do it. So let's get the ball rolling. So these are questions and multiple choice. So it might be a little more easier for you. I'm going to give you
I like multiple guess.
Yes. So I'm going to make it very easy for you for the first one, okay? God, I hope it's easy for you. What year was the Miami Dolphins' perfect season?
1972.
Wow. All right. There you go. Got the ball rolling with the first one. That's right. 1972, the Dolphins completed the NFL's only perfect season, winning all 14 of their regular season games and all 3 of their playoff games, including the Super Bowl 7. The Patriots didn't do it. They went undefeated, but they lost in the Super Bowl. Boo freaking who. Now,
I was 6 years old when they did that.
Look at that. Now, you ready for this? Okay, number 2. Who was the first Dolphins quarterback to pass for more than 400 yards in a game? Here, unless you know, I'll give you the answer, the multiple choice. Bob Greasy, Dan Marino, David Woodley, Earl Merle.
Earl.
It is David Woodley.
Woodley.
Yes, as quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, he is best known as the bridge between the eras of Hall of Famers Bob Greasy and Dan Marino. But it was Woodley who passed for 408 yards in a 28-27 loss to the Dallas Cowboys on October 25th, 1981. So David Woodley is the correct answer. Hammer Time had Earl as well. All right, Hank. See, I like these. These were fun. Which team did the Dolphins beat to claim their first Super Bowl victory? If you know the answer, spit it out now, or I'll give you multiple choice.
Washington.
That's correct. The Washington football team, the Redskins, at that time in Super Bowl 7, the undefeated season, the Dolphins outlasted the Redskins 14-7. That was a very high-scoring, exciting game for Dolphin fans. Now, number 4, Hank. What is the largest margin of victory in Dolphins history? 40 points, 44, 48, or 52? I'm sorry.
I was going to say 40-0, the Jets.
Actually, it's 52 points.
Really?
Yes, sir. On November 12th, 1972, the 8-0 Miami Dolphins that were destined for NFL immortality stopped the New England Patriots 52-0.
Whoa. Yeah,
All
I just read the other day that our biggest margin of victory over the Jets was 40-0, and I thought that's where I got my guess from.
That was close enough, but it's 52 points against the New England Patriots. Now, number 5, which Miami Dolphin defender is the NFL's all-time leader in fumble returns with touchdowns with 6?
Zach Thomas.
You say Zach Thomas is on here. Zach Thomas, Jay Scott, Manny Fernandez, Jason Taylor.
Oh, that might be Manny. No, it might be Taylor, actually. Taylor.
Jason Taylor is correct. Taylor is the all-time leader in interceptions returned to touchdowns by a defensive lineman with 3. Who was the first? So he had 6 fumble return touchdowns, and he has 3 interception returns for touchdowns. That's why Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas being number 2, but Jason Taylor is my number 1 favorite player in Dolphins history. Number 6. Who was the first Miami Dolphin elected to the NFL Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Larry Zonka, Jim Langer, Bob Gracie, Paul Warfield.
Paul Warfield.
That is correct. Paul Warfield. Let's go ahead and put this here. All right. Paul Warfield, in a consistent big play threat throughout his career. Warfield's 20.1 yards average per reception is the highest in NFL history among players with at least 300 receptions. Who was the Dolphins' first 1,000-yard rusher?
Oh.
Mercury Morris, Ricky Williams, Jim Kick, Larry Zonka.
Mercury Morris.
Larry Zonka is the correct answer. You were
knew
there.
it was one of those two.
I know you had it, but I get where you're coming from. Zonka's 1971 season was the only year in the 1970s that a running back gained over 1,000 yards, rushing yards, without a single fumble.
Wow.
That's correct.
Yeah, he was a tough man.
He was. It was something else, man. Hammer Time had Kick, but it was Larry Zonka. Which player holds the franchise record for career receiving yards? This is the Dolphins' franchise record for career receiving yards. Is it Jarvis Landry, Nat Moore, Mark Duper, or Mark Clayton?
Clayton.
Close enough. It's Mark Duper. And 11. You're good. And 11.
You sit there and I'm flipping a coin over Duper and Clayton going.
I know. That's where you were with Zonka and Morris. I know I have.
Yeah.
It's all good, brother. It's all good. All right. Let me see. Super Duper in 11 NFL seasons. Mark Super Duper caught 511 passes for 8,869 yards and 59 touchdowns. Beautiful. All right. Now, we got two more there, Hank. In which season was Dan Marino named the NFL's most valuable player, MVP? It was his only one. Was it his first season, his third season, second season, or fourth season?
First.
You say number. All right. It is his second season. It was his second season. In just his second season, Marino broke 6 NFL full season passing records, including most touchdown passes with 48 and most passing yards with 5,084 yards, leading the Dolphins to a 14-2 regular season record and an appearance in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, technically it was his second year. I forgot.
It's all good. All right, which player? This is the final one. You ready?
Yeah.
Which player, guys, broke Bob Griese's leg during the perfect during the perfect season, 1972? Was it L.C. Greenwood, Harvey Martin, Deacon Jones, or Jack Youngblood?
Youngblood. Who were they playing? I'm gonna say Youngblood. I'm guessing.
I like the name. It sounds like somebody who would break someone's leg, but it was actually Mr. Deacon Jones who broke the leg.
Really?
Bob Griese. Nicknamed the Secretary of Defense, Deacon Jones specialized in quarterback sacks, a term in which he coined. So that's your Dolphins trivia on the Fins Talk today. I like that one. That one was a lot more fun. It was
I think I butchered it though.
Yeah, you're all right. You get some history on the Dolphins, gain some knowledge on the Dolphins, Dolphin fans here at Fins Talk today. But we're at the 33, well, actually almost 34 minutes, which is great. There's so much to be excited about as Dolphin fans. The season is right around the corner. Preseason is not around the corner, but right down the road if you could peek long enough. August is there. Training camp is open. A lot to be excited about. Evan, Hammer Time, Cat for Life, Mike, the Hebrew Hammer Brown, and everyone else who's joined us. Thank you. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That's Fish Tank Hank. I'm Bobby. We will see you next Saturday, Hank, from a different location as he is going to Florida.
Yes.
All right, guys. We'll see
2
you
days.
2 days. Fins up, everybody. We'll see you next Saturday.